The wind was sharp that evening, the kind that stung cheeks and made people hurry past one another without a second glance. The city streets glowed with the golden shimmer of street lamps, but tucked in the shadows of a closed bakery, a young woman lay curled up against the cold bricks, hugging herself for warmth. 8-year-old Emma noticed her first. She tugged on her father's hand as they walked back to their car from dinner. "Daddy," she whispered, her little voice trembling, "why is she sleeping here?" Her father, Michael Turner, paused. He was a man who had everything: wealth, power, and the admiration of many. A successful entrepreneur, he was known in business circles as a sharp, decisive millionaire. But in that moment, under the gaze of his daughter's wide, innocent eyes, none of that seemed to matter. He looked at the young woman. Her clothes were thin, her shoes torn, and her hair tangled. She couldn't have been more than 20. She wasn't asleep. Her eyes were closed, but the tremble in her shoulders betrayed her exhaustion. Michael knelt beside Emma. "Sweetheart, sometimes people fall on hard times," he explained softly. Emma frowned, clutching her father's coat. "But, Daddy, she looks so cold. Can we help her?" For a moment, Michael hesitated. Most people would walk away. He himself had walked past countless faces on sidewalks, convincing himself he couldn't help everyone. But tonight was different. Tonight, his daughter was watching. And in her eyes, he saw something pure, an expectation that kindness wasn't optional, it was necessary. He took off his tailored overcoat and gently draped it over the young woman. She startled, eyes opening wide, ready to push it away. "It's okay," Michael said softly. "Keep it. You'll freeze out here." Her lips trembled. I don't want trouble." "You're not in trouble," Michael assured. "What's your name?" "Lily," she whispered. Emma leaned forward, her little face full of concern. "Hi, Lily. I'm Emma." Then, without hesitation, Emma wrapped her small arms around the woman's shoulders. That simple act of warmth made Lily's eyes brim with tears. Michael helped her to her feet. "Come on," he said gently. "You're coming with us." At first, Lily refused. She insisted she wasn't worth the trouble, that she had no family, no job, nowhere to go. But Michael wouldn't take no for an answer. He had spent years building mansions and acquiring cars, but he suddenly realized how Emma leaned forward, her little face full of concern. "Hi, Lily. I'm Emma." Then, without hesitation, Emma wrapped her small arms around the woman's shoulders. That simple act of warmth made Lily's eyes brim with tears. Michael helped her to her feet. "Come on," he said gently. "You're coming with us." At first, Lily refused. She insisted she wasn't worth the trouble, that she had no family, no job, nowhere to go. But Michael wouldn't take no for an answer. He had Spenhollow those things where if he couldn't extend humanity to someone right in front of him. That night, he brought her home. Emma showed Lily the guest room, proudly pointing out the soft blankets and stuffed animals she insisted Lily could borrow. For the first time in months, Lily slept in a bed, her tears soaking into the pillow, not from sorrow this time, but from relief. In the weeks that followed, something remarkable happened. Lily slowly came back to life. With Michael's resources, she received medical care, counseling, and eventually a chance to continue her education. Emma, in her innocent way, became Lily's anchor, reminding her daily that she mattered. One evening, as Michael watched the two of them laughing over a board game at the dining table, something inside him shifted. He had been living as a single father for years, pouring all his love into his daughter while keeping the world at a distance. But now, he realized, kindness had not only changed Lily's life, it had also healed something within him. Months later, Lily stood at the podium of a community center Michael had helped her enroll in. She was speaking to young women who had once been where she was, lost, cold, invisible. Her voice shook at first, but then grew stronger. I was given a second chance, she said, glancing toward Emma and Michael in the front row. Not because I earned it, but because someone chose to see me. Someone chose kindness. The audience rose in applause, but Michael wasn't watching them. He was watching Emma, whose little face was glowing with pride. She leaned close and whispered to her father, "See, Daddy? Helping one person really can change the world." Michael smiled, pulling her into his arms. "Yes, sweetheart. You were right all along." And so, what began as a child's simple question, "Why is she sleeping here?" became the answer to a bigger one, what does it truly mean to be human? It means to see, to care, and to act. Even when it's inconvenient. Especially when it's inconvenient. Because sometimes, the greatest fortunes aren't built in boardrooms or bank accounts. They're built in moments of compassion, one life, one choice, one act of kindness at a time.